Del Mar Mesa Preserve. The Del Mar Mesa Preserve Natural Resource Management Plan and Trails Plan has been a topic of hot debate since well before 2008, when the Mountain Bike Association and trail users got intimately involved in the poor trails plan that was offered. Since then, a trails plan has been put together and is pretty much a done deal. The sole exception being that all of the local planning boards all agree that some east-west connection across the Mesa is required to make a really well-engineered trail plan. So what is on the Mesa today, and what are the concerns we need to worry about, and what do we need to manage? Essentially, the area east of the preserve is undeveloped at this time and is scheduled to be developed into two developments. One is called Merge 56, the other one is called Rhodes Crossing. The building of Merge 56 and Rhodes Crossing will require the completion of Camino Del Sur south from 56 to Park Village Road, and also the extension of Carmel Mountain Road up to the extension of Camino del Sur. So what I've done here is I've sketched in all of the new roads that will go on from the development. And then beyond that, what I did was I sketched in where the authorized trails are. So these would either be the trails that are in the trails plan today or show in the trails plan later. The following slide actually includes trails which are authorized within the trails plan. One is a reroute of Tunnel 1, which is needed with the extension of the road. The other one is a connection to Darkwood Canyon. As you can see here, there's a gap between the end of where the Darkwood Connection Trail is and where Tunnel 1 is. So there's a need to engineer some kind of connection between there. I think what's being offered is a bike lane on the road. Also, what we need to think about in terms of Tunnel 1 is parking. There is a shopping center that is immediately adjacent on the other side of Camino del Sur. So in essence, that's probably where we'll park, even though it's not a legitimate trailhead, so to speak. The developer was unsurprised by this when I brought it up. Beyond that, what else do we have out there? Well, we have a large fence parcel, which is a vernal pool reserve that is managed by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. This land is what they call bank mitigation land for extension of Highway 52 and other highway projects. As a CDFW reserve, bicycle traffic is not allowed, and that's a universal language they have. But as you'll see later within this presentation, there is a letter from the director of CDFW to Marty Block, who is a California State Senator, and Brian Reichenstein, who is a local state assemblyman, that offers some hope that there's some latitude there that we can work something out. And believe me, we'll continue to fight that. Also, there is a U.S. fish and wildlife area that's in this area here. And in fact, if you walk out of that area today, the split rail fence that has National Ecological or Wildlife Refuge written on it, and I've included a picture of that, that's looking from that fence, looking north towards Highway 56 and the gas station is here in that area. North of where the U.S. Fish and Wildlife parcel is, there's this sort of notch property, we call it, which is owned by the Catholic Church, the diocese property. This property is slated for development, even though it's populated with the same ecologically sensitive habitat as the adjoining areas. It's not listed as endangered habitat and is not coded as what they call MHPA lands. So it is open for development. It may get developed. It may change into being MHP land and used as what more of this bank mitigation. I think that would be preferable to most of us who look to protect the area there and see that it lasts for generations. So I've included a picture of actually Preston Drake, who's a member of the Los Penasquitos CAC, and he's on the Del Mar Mesa Planning Board, standing on what is the southeast quadrant of the diocese property. There's another picture. So everything behind Preston on to the left is U.S. Fish and Wildlife. Everything north of there to the left of Preston is the diocese property. Everything to the right is road and development. The next picture that I've included as a photograph is the northeastern quadrant of the diocese property. Well, actually, will be under the fill that is there for extending the road. And up in the, actually I made a blue line across which shows where Tunnel 1 goes today. It'll also be under fill. And there'll be a trail, which is that red line you see up in the corner, that will climb up that hillside, which will replace it. The following picture is also showing that same trail will go in there. Note that the trail you see in the foreground, we were actually doing gradient measurements on this, and it measures out at 12%. And it's a good little grunt to get up if you want to get out of there. The red trail has sections which are as much as 25%. So we need to work with the city of coming up with something a little bit better than that. And so let's get back to it. We got Delaware Mesa Preserve, and then we've got, as part of that, we've got the CDFW parcel, we've got the U.S. Fish and Wildlife parcel, we've got city parcels, and then we've got this little notch where we've got the Roman Catholic Church parcels. And then we've got some trails at the top end up there, some trails to the right, some connections going in. We don't have an east-west connector. And the following slide is a edited version. I took out all the middle part of it, but so you can just read it in terms of what the language is coming from the Director of Fish and Wildlife. So that's where we stand today. And I think that's what we can start with in terms of making some sort of a documentary and kind of put things together.